Hi everyone, it's Lillian here and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, I come to you live and try to bring you a project to inspire you to use your supplies and have some fun. So basically to unlock that paper crafting fun. Tonight it is, let me just look and see, it's Tuesday, June the 5th. 2023. So there are good things happening, great sales going on, and great ideas floating all around. So I wanted to share that with you. Just before I go down to my desktop, I always like to ask a question so that you get answering and interacting in the comments, because one of the neat things that's happened here is that we're a community, and then as you say hello and you start to talk amongst yourselves, and it really is a neat experience. So make sure that you say hi, just tell us something about yourself or where you're from or your favorite color, that kind of thing. And the question I have for you tonight is, what designer paper would you use to make a masculine card? Now, we have lots that would make a masculine card, but what is one that you might reach for? And now we've got new designer papers, so maybe it doesn't come readily to your mind. So maybe take a glance in your catalog, or even suggest one that's retired. But what's one of your go-to designer papers? Because we're concentrating on designer papers tonight. For masculine cards. So let's go down to my desktop as you answer that question. And you might say, well, why are we talking about masculine cards? Well, Father's Day is coming up, and so I thought we would try to address that. And I've been working on some Father's Day cards and finding that maybe I need to buy a few more papers, believe it or not. Just trying to get things situated here. So it's a good thing that we have a designer paper sale on right now. So the sale is, it's got 13 different designer papers on sale. So I've quickly ordered a few because I was really short, especially in the masculine one. So as I'm getting the computer set up just a little bit more, so those of you that are just hopping on, remember we are sharing, or we're saying hi if nothing else. But if you can think of it, what is a designer paper you would use for masculine cards? All right. And I'm going to talk just a moment more about the sale while people are popping on and entering that. So the designer series paper sale has 13 designer papers. So it's on both sides of this flyer, or if you go to my website and click on specials, that will come up as well. So we've got the bright and beautiful. Let me just open up the catalog. So 12 of them are in the catalog. One is an online exclusive. So I just love this page, don't you? Yeah, that just looks so neat. Okay, so this paper is on sale for 15%. This one is, did you realize this is one of those mega packs? This is 48 sheets. So it's regular $41. It's on sale for $34.85, and you could make tons of these boxes and other projects. So there's that. There's the Earth and Elegance, there's this one, there's this one, this one, this one, this one, this one I just ordered because I really like that one. And let me just see, and these two here, oh, three, pardon me. So those plus the Hello Irresistible from the online exclusive. It's down here. You saw me use that a lot in the spring, and I'll show a swatch of it in a little bit. So if you're needing designer paper, now is the time to treat yourself and go for it. That's all I can say. I've been doing a bit of that myself. So let's just get started here. I was mentioning that I was going to make Father's Day cards, and I didn't have a lot of masculine paper. Now, I did have this, and this would make gorgeous Father's Day cards, any of these. But I wanted to make cards that where I showed both sides of the designer paper. And, well, unless your guy is a gardener, which mine is, I don't think that would be suitable. That's one of the papers on sale. Then I thought, well, what about, I'd love to use this gingham paper I used for the treat holder earlier this week. So it's like this, and both sides would work beautifully, but it's only 6 by 6, and I need 5.5 by 12. So that's not going to work. So then I thought, what about this paper? This paper is called Stargazing. It's 12 by 12, and right here are all the coordinating colors. I wrote them bigger so I can see them a little more readily, but let me just share this paper with you. So here it is on one side, so it's like we've got this burst of color, northern lights or something like that, through the Milky Way. And then on the back, we've got a generic one like that. Isn't this Earth and Elegance? Yes, Catherine, that would be perfect for a guy card too. So then this one here, now I don't have the dies and stamps. The dies are definitely on my list because they cut out lots of circles and ovals, but the dies cut out some of these shapes. So I just love the colors in here. And then on the back, we've got some more of this sky there. Then here's another sky happening kind of thing like that. And then on the back of that, we have got this. So we've got the different sort of lights and darks in there. Then we've got this with the two colors all coming together, just like a burst of color, which we sometimes see in our northern lights. And then this on the back. And then this here. If nothing else, this paper would be inspirational for putting colors with black or with blue, dark blue, I think. So like that. And then this here, like that, and like that. So I could have used any of these papers for tonight, but I am actually going to use this one here. So what I've done, first off, is when I was planning this out, I started gathering some of the papers, the colors that go with it. Now there were a whole bunch more, but I thought any of these would go with this really nicely. I like how they just pop. So I'm going to use this, and I've cut it down to 5.5 by 12. And I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored. You can use your paper trimmer because it has the scoring tool as well. And I am going to score it at 4 1/4, 6, and 7 3/4. So if this is 12, 6 is halfway, and then these two are equal. I think it's, well, let's just figure it out. So 4 1/4, like that. The reason I like my Simply Scored for multiple score lines is I don't have to move my paper. 6, so there's 1 3/4 between that. 4 1/4 is our usual card base. And then the other measurement was 7 3/4. So again, that's an inch and an inch, 6, 7, yeah, an inch and 3/4. So we've got it like that. It's simple scoring, and our designer paper is actually going to be the base of our card. So that's a little bit different. So you can see why I wanted to be able to use both sides of the paper. Now the decision comes, do I want this on the outside or do I want this on the outside? So what I kind of do is I fold it, I just roll it, so with that and then like that. Or I could have this on the outside and go like that. I think I'm going to go with this because of what I plan to put inside. So that middle fold, we want to fold it sort of like inside out. So with the inside showing, we're doing that, and that's your halfway mark. That's your 6 inches. And now we're going to bring this and fold it back, lining up the edges and burnishing those folds. And we're going to fold it over, and here's our other score line. So we're going to do the same thing and line it up. Then burnish those folds. Looks like I'm a fraction out, so I'm going to just not quite lined up. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's lined up, burnish again, because once everything's lined up and burnished, then we're good to go. So there, we've got it like that. I've got this on the front. This is going to be on the inside. Now, at this point, you can decide, do you want to make it a gift card holder, or do you want to just make it a pop-up card? What inspired me is a card I made several years ago for graduation. It tied closed. Just pretend that's tied closed. And it's a gift card holder, and it pops up like this. Now, if I didn't want it to be a gift card holder, I wouldn't do the next step. I would then decorate something, put a panel on here, and then when I open it up, let me just bring in a piece of white here. So if this was your liner, this would look like that. And when you open up, it could be circular, it could be any shape you wanted, as long as it's going to fit in. But I'm going to show you how to make a gift card holder. So we're going to put that to the side. Now you need to be able to cut this. If you see my original, this was a punch that I used, and I just kept punching till it was long enough. Now that punch has since retired. So you could do a couple of things. You could put your folded edge into your paper trimmer, say about half an inch or whatever, and then you could cut from, say, here to here, and then use your snips to just cut down, and that would make an opening, however big you want your opening to be. I'm going to use a die. Now you could use a punch, you could use whatever you happen to have in your arsenal of supplies, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, and let's just bring that back out. And I'm going to bring in some new favorite dies. These are called the Nested Essential dies. There are 12 of them here. So there's the banner shapes. They're the rounded corner rectangles, I'm calling them. And then these shapes here. So I'm going to use this one right here, the smallest one of this shape. I'm sure it has a name, but I don't remember the name of it. I don't know it, pardon me. And I'm going to put it so it's about halfway onto the paper. So here's the fold. Just remind you, we're doing it where the fold is, and we're doing it about halfway like that. That's just, there's no magic about it being halfway other than the fact I kind of like that. So you can adjust it to whatever you like. And we're going to run it through and just cut that. Just like that. Sorry if the table's wiggling a little. Get that out of the way. Now when you take it off, you've got an opening there. So when we fold it back up, it's going to look like that. So we'll take that out. We're going to keep this piece that we cut out when you open it up, because it's cut on the fold. It looks like that. We're going to keep that. We'll put this to the side. Get rid of this. And now we're ready to turn it into a gift card holder. So what we're going to do, bring this, and what we need to do is we want to be able to, let me just grab, where's a gift card? Here's, we want to remember to put this in, be able to do that. Look at that, color coordination and everything. So what you want to do is to run your glue. You can use tear and tape or Seal Plus or this, but you want to do it just along the edges. That way you still have room for the gift card or whatever you're putting in to slide in. Then we're going to fold it up, put it together, and we're going to just put something on that to hold it in place. we'll use a punch. Usually I use a stamping block, but don't have one handy right now. And now while that's setting up, we're going to get busy and do the rest. Now, I don't know about you, but when I go to make masculine cards, sometimes I'm kind of stumped for my stamps, and I'm needing to supplement my masculine stamps. But if you don't have them, take a look around. What is your guy interested in? Is it the outdoors? Is it the sea? Is it canoeing? Is it music? Is it gardening? Our guys are interested in all sorts of things. And some of the guys in my life, quite a few actually, are into music. And then when I saw this, You Rock My World, I thought this goes perfectly with that paper. So that's what I decided to do. And I'll just show you what I came up with. So here is the finished product here. So it looks like this. And then we've got the gift card, which I just put somewhere else. Those are my instructions. So we'll put that back in here like that and like that. So you can switch this design up for whatever you want, but that's where we're headed here. So now I'm going to bring in this shape here. So it's cut with the same die we used for the other piece. And we're going to stamp on this with the guitar here. And I'm going to bring in a bit of grid paper, just in case I make a mess, and some black ink. Oh, I got a heavy hand there. I hope that stamps well. We will see. And let the ink transfer. There we go, just like that. And while we've got this out, I am going to bring in my liner for the inside and stamp it as well. And like that. So now we've got the guitar stamped. We're going to put that to the side and this to the side. Now the sentiments. So You Rock My World. We're going to stamp that once in pumpkin pie. And then we'll clean it off. And we're going to stamp it again in black. Now I could have just cut it out like that and gone with it, but I wanted it something to look a little more, I guess, rocky. I don't know. There we go. So now we've got that stamping done, and we'll put that to the side. So what I did, I'm going to talk about that later. Sorry. Going to bring these in, and I'll just color them in. So what I did was I used the colors right that were in the paper. So Tahitian Tide and Pumpkin Pie. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. It is whatever your heart desires. You can make your guitar as funky as you want or as classy as you want, whatever. I'm going to just stick with what I did so I don't have to think too hard. Now, if you notice, the stamp set has dark parts, so I'm going to use the darker Stampin' Blends to color that in. And I like to just feather it a little bit. And I'll do the same here. Might as well do both at once. Just like that. Now remember, there's a bullet end and a brush end. I like to use the bullet end. And remember not to press too hard. You want to be very, very light, and the color just goes. You always want to have protective paper underneath because it's an alcohol-based ink and it will soak right through. So you don't want it on your dining room table, right? Whoops, got a little carried away with my coloring there. There we go. Now I'm bringing in the pumpkin pie, and oh, I don't know. Whoops, I think I want to start. I like to start with the dark. Some people like to start with the light. That lid doesn't want to go on. There we go. A little muscle. And we'll just color that in. You really don't have to worry too much. You don't have to be too precise. And I know it, you can hear the pen working, and it sounds like I'm pressing hard, but I really am not. It's just the sound the pen makes as it fills in. So just like that, we've got the coloring done. Now, I don't know if you've noticed on here, I added some splatters, and I just thought that that kind of went with the theme. So what I'm going to do is bring in this color here. Now I'm going to use the brush end. This is where I get a little messy at times. And we're going to use the lid, and we're just going to spatter like that. And I think I'll do a bit on the inside too. There. So now we're finished with that. Move that out of the way. We've got these pieces. We're ready to start assembling. Now remember, I said I was going to keep this. That's because, and this, I just thought of it when I was assembling the other card. I cut it in half down that fold, and then I used it on either side here. So it's just one of those fluky things that works out. Do you ever have fluky things working out? I love it when it does. All right, so we'll put some adhesive along here and a bit along here. So how many of you have musicians in your life? Or maybe you're a musician. Oh, you know what? I cut out the wrong size of this, so that's all right. You'll see it two versions. I wondered why I didn't have quite so much room. Can you see what I did? This one is the smaller version, but this one, the orange, the pumpkin pie only came to here. Now this is going to match right up. So you're going to see two versions, and we can figure out what's the best. So there we go. We'll line that up like that. Now you'll notice that on one side of the pumpkin pie, the stitch lines aren't quite as noticeable because it was folded in half and the stitch lines were actually on this side. But for this card, I don't think it matters. I think it works just fine. So now we're going to bring in our card. Oh, some of you are saying you've got musical families. Yay, we do too, except for me. I'm the audience. And I say that's my gift because everybody needs an audience. But I really enjoy music. I just don't have a whole lot of skill or talent. So now we're going to do this. I'm going to bring in my dry adhesive, so my seal. Now I could have put this on dimensionals. I'm going to put this instead. So this is going to be like my planet thing. And you might say, Lillian, the silver foil is not in the catalog. It's not, but it is on the clearance rack. So I thought it was perfect, so I'm using it here. What would even be more perfect is the holographic paper. And I've got it on order, but it's not here yet. So we're going to use the silver foil, but you can imagine it with holographic paper as well. Now I'm going to bring in dimensionals and put them on the back of here. You can see how easy this card is. And if you have lots of designer paper of the same, you could easily do your envelope as well. So there we've got it like that. Now how did I do the words? Well, what I did is I stamped it in the two colors, and then I just cut them, freehand cut them apart with my snips. So for world, and I actually didn't want them to be too perfect, so I want world and rock in the pumpkin pie, the orange color. And I'm not going to think about it, because if I think about it, I start to analyze what angles things should go at. So there we go, rock and world. Now, the other thing is I put you rock my world, but I don't need two you rock my worlds. So what if I wanted to say you rock the world or something like that? There is no the. Oh, there is a the. I forgot. I missed that. Oh, well, I stamped from, I don't know where I was looking. I did look at it. From Happy Labels, I stamped this. You've got the biggest heart. So it's the same principle. And I'm going to take the from here. So you see how you can make up sentiments by taking words from different stamps and putting them together, even different stamp sets. So the world, and then I want you. Just like that. You rock the world, and then I can scatter them however I want. And on this one here, for world, I put it on dimensionals, and everything else, I kept it a little, I just glued it down. So if I went, you rock the world, I want world down here. Let's see. I want to kind of bring you rock Sure, that'll look pretty good. So I'm going to add adhesive to that. Sometimes it's just as easy to put the adhesive down on your paper. You rock. I might put it on here. I'm not totally sure where I want it. Oops, and I want dimensionals on that one. So we'll flip that over. And some of you might be saying black dimensionals. Yes, we have black dimensionals. And when you get black dimensionals, they come with both the regular size and the mini in the same package, which is pretty neat. You get the best, the selection of both. You rock the world, just like that. Now, what I did, I looked through my embellishments, and again, something that I think I need to restock a few things, but we have the festive pearls. I like to keep my embellishments in a Claremont case, and I stick them on the end so that I can see easily. And I found that these ones here, they went well. I'm right out of the silver, but these ones here seem to go pretty well. So we can add some of those. They can look like stars. I know, I spend half my time trying to put dimensionals, find the right spot for dimensionals, right? So there we go, just like that. And let's clear a little spot here. I've got quite a mess. So we need to put the insert in. So you have somewhere to write. And just like that, you've got a gift card holder to give to someone. So what kind of gift card would you put in a card like this? You could put a gift card for the Space Science Center. You could put a gift card for a music store or a musical or something at the theater. You could put a gift card for, what could you put a gift card for in there? And I see lots of love for black dimensionals coming through. Yes, they are fabulous. All right. What else? So what kind of gift card could you put in there? Or what could you put besides a gift card? So you could easily tuck some money in there. So I just happen to have the 5, but you could put whatever you wanted in. It would fit in. I like how big it is, that the opening was, and it fits a gift card perfectly. You could always put a picture in. You just might have to cut it down depending on who you're giving it to. So there are all kinds of things that you can put in there. So just to give you those kind of ideas. Now, what other ideas? If you're like me, that's great idea, but how else could I use it? So, well, you could just treat this like the front of a card, and you could put anything you wanted on there. So I was playing around and I used the, is it Fresh as a Daisy designer paper, and I just put some daisies on it. Now remember, on designer paper, you can stamp right on designer paper. So I stamped on here and heat embossed it with white so it would pop. And then I stamped a daisy on the back and the Stampin' Up logo, and then it's ready to go. So there's that one there. And I'll show you the one that started it all. This, I've seen this idea around lots. I've used it lots. I don't know who to give credit to for the original, but there you go. So it's like that. And then the ones we made tonight. So you can see that you can go all kinds of directions. You could easily do it with the zoo animals paper. So let me just, for those of you who haven't seen it, the zoo animal paper has a music theme, and the back is black and white, so you could always go that way. So it has that. So this could have worked for a masculine card too, and definitely the black and white would. Here's camping. So again, this would work for masculine crafts and relaxing, party theme, and wheels. So everything on this one, they are on wheels. So there's that. And then on the back side, we've got the black and white, just like that. Now, I've been using so much of this paper, and I have a class coming up with it. This is one of the cards we're doing, so I didn't want to use any more of this. But yes, Rhonda, I love using both sides of the paper too, because then I don't have to decide, right? And this card here uses both sides of the paper. And those dies that I said, the Nested Essentials, these ones right here, these are used a lot on here. So we've got the rectangles here and the little banners here. So there are all kinds of ideas floating around. So just a reminder, if you like, I didn't realize everything's blue here. I'll need to do some samples up on some other colors. So if you like designer paper and your supply is getting low, or you just want to stock up with some new and interesting colors, if you're like me, you're missing some certain ones, now's the time. It's 15% off. The other thing is, oh, I put this here. This is a piece of the other paper that's on sale. So it also reminds me to stamp on my paper, and look, you could do that, right? So there it is. The other thing is, if you have a huge, long wish list, you might want to consider signing up for the starter kit. There's a special on this right now. You get extra $71 worth of product. So it's $206 worth of product of your choice for $135, no shipping and handling, no GST, and it's totally up to you, whether you want to do it as a business or as a hobby, or just want to enjoy the discount, or if you just want the starter kit. So just something to consider, you know. If you've got a long wish list and you're putting a big order, that might be the way to go. So I hope this has inspired you to use your designer paper, to whether it's for a gift card holder or a pop-up card. This is one way to really have a lot of fun with it. And you can see you can decorate the front with shapes, with squares, with whatever you want. So I think that's it for tonight. Remember, if you want to purchase some of these, or if you have questions, feel free to contact me. My website is right here. And if you're placing an order from my online store, you'll find it on my website. And it's under $200. If you could please try to remember to use this hostess code, that would be fabulous. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you sharing tonight. Thank you for the comments, for the thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, please remember to click that subscribe button, and thank you, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye.